1616. Scene 1. In Virginia, the original colony at Jamestown is expanded with the establishment of another settlement at Henrico, up the James River. John Rolfe, the colony's secretary, and his wife, Indian Princess Pocahontas, move from there and attend the new church, the first brick-built one in North America. Its first chaplain is the Reverend Alexandra Whitaker. Governor Sir James Dale also has a guest house for sick people built at Henrico on higher ground than low-lying Jamestown. Back in England, Sir Edward Lawrence dies and is buried in Steeple Church, Dorset. His wife, family's arms, the Washingtons, appear on his shield on the wall monument there. They show the stars and stripes, which 2 centuries later will be used in the design of the flag of the United States of America. Scene 2. Governor Dale decides to return to England, taking with him John Rolfe, Pocahontas, and her 10 Indian attendants to publicize the Jamestown colonisation venture and raise money for further development. They sail aboard the Treasurer and reach Plymouth on June the 12th, landing at the town's Barbican Wharf. Later they are officially welcomed by Mayor Abraham Colmer at the Guildhall and Clink. Clink, of course, is a prison. One Indian, Tomacomo, has been ordered by Chief Powhatan, father of Pocahontas, that he has to make a notch in a stave for every person he meets in England. He soon gives that up. The 4 people watching the scenes are left to write cartoons of researchers Frida Simpson, Paul Preswell, Tom Maddock and myself. Scene 3. A messenger is sent from Plymouth to London on horseback to forewarn the London Virginia Company of Dale and his companions' return from America. Meanwhile, after a short stay in Plymouth for fresh provisions, the colonists and natives resume their journey aboard the Venturer and eventually reach the capital. Here, of course, they create an enormous sensation. Pocahontas is treated like English royalty and entertained by the rich, famous and powerful in society, such as the Bishop of London, John King. Another king, the real monarch, James I, is not so welcoming. Not to Pocahontas, with whom he is fascinated, but towards John Rolfe, a mere upstart of a commoner who has dared to marry a princess without his divine right of king's permission. However, later he relents. Scene 4. After staying in London a while, where the tobacco cargo of the Treasurer is sold off, Rolfe takes Pocahontas and baby Thomas back to the family home at Heacham in Norfolk. They travel by horseback, Pocahontas for the first time, for there are no horses in North America. She delights in the experience, and with the fresh country air, as she has been frequently unwell in London. They spend the summer in Heacham, then in November return first to London, then to Brentford, away from the city's fogs. There Captain John Smith, whose life Pocahontas saved in America, visits her. They have not met since 1608. As he has not contacted her since that time, or, in her opinion, kept his promise to her father Chief Powhatan, she spurns him. Scene 5. This is also the year when the greatest English playwright of all time, William Shakespeare, quits the mortal stage. His birthplace at Stratford-on-Avon is shown, as is the Globe Theatre in Southwark, where his works are performed. Other great playwrights and poets flourish at this same time. John Donne, author of the Ode to Virginia, celebrates England's colonisation attempts in North America. Ben Jonson of Westminster also writes plays and masques. His masques performed at court are great favourites. Include Vision of Delight, which Pocahontas, now in failing health, takes part in on Twelfth Night. However, more of the 21-year-old Indian's days are spent ill in bed and coughing up blood. Returning to health in America, becomes the priority. This panel was stitched by the Exeter New World Tapestry team led by Joan Roncarelli. The first stitches were made on the 2nd of August 1989 by the team, and the venue was St Margaret's Church Hall at Topsham near Exeter. The last stitch was made on June the 3rd, 1993 in the same hall by Lady Courtney. The two shields that are connected on this panel are to be found at the top of scene 2. John Rolfe's and the one for John Smith, because, if you recall, they're both associated with Princess Pocahontas. Rolfe, her husband, and Smith, the man she rescued at Jamestown 9 years ago. Scurvy grass is my choice for the herb on this panel, because the dried herb, or a bottled illustration, was taken aboard ship for those who would lie, as Gerard said, lamentably sick of the scurvy. The biggest liars, I suspect, were known as scurvy knaves, and I'm not sorry about the pun.